Hello and welcome back to another week of Madmen with a Box live.
Live?
We'll do it live.
You mean we have a studio audience?
No,
Never.
but I am OZChris. I'm here with Pixel. Still hasn't got his doctorates back. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Term.
New Year's resolution. That's right.
New Year's resolution. Resolution of the doctorate. Chibnall's best New Year's special resolution of the doctorate. But we got as always, we got some news to talk about, and at the end we have kind of our own version of like best of the worst. We're kind of copying Red Letter Media here. We're talking about two of the worst. They're regarded as the worst Christmas specials. And we have to voice which one we think is the better of the two. So that'd be interesting. But news. What should we talk about? We have news. And we have Gevain here as well.
That's right. Gevain is the news.
That's the news. That's it. Okay. Stream over. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Don't worry, we're going to have more people showing up here soon, too. First thing to talk about is RTD. Apparently in an interview...
What's he done this time?
He said he doesn't know if there will be a third season of Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he said. Even though he said that well, here's the thing. He said he has planned for at least 3 series. That doesn't guarantee that there will be 3 series.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. It's not Disney could pull the plug at any time. And you know what? I've been hearing multiple things about how, Disney is really happy with this because it did well, according to everything that they said. It did well. But there's also people saying, oh no, Disney's not happy and they're going to pull a rug out from under Doctor Who. Doesn't matter. Doctor Who's going to exist with or without the mouse.
Yeah. It's like, do people forget that Disney doesn't own it? No. They just stream it internationally, and just give them some extra money. That's right. This isn't how it works. Like, at the end of the day, it is the BBC who decides if Doctor Who continues or not. Yeah. So
you know what,
But the thing is, we got news about the second series 15. Didn't we get news about that during series 14's release? Because I know they were doing production during series 14's release because they were filming at the same time. So it's around that.
Because you called it you call it series 14.
Because that's what it is. I'm not calling it season 1.
But you just said it's season 2.
It's the second series of this era, but I'm not calling it series 2 or season 2. Okay. Russell, I am calling it series 14 and 15.
That's honestly what he should have kept.
Don't confuse us, Russell.
I think I think it's one of those missteps this era has, because with Disney going ahead and they're putting out new Doctor Who, they don't have any of the rights to the old Doctor Who, so they can't go ahead and have those first seasons on there. That's where the problem lies. I don't know.
And also, Disney's naming convention for the seasons is very, very confusing as well. Like, this upcoming Christmas special is referred to as Special 5. I mean, yeah, technically, yes, it is the 5th special, but it doesn't help that Church on Ruby Road is Special 4, but it's also included in their playlist for season 1, series 14.
Because it's basically the first episode.
That's because what it is. It's essentially the first episode of that series. Why don't you just call it Christmas Special? Is it that hard, Bob Iger?
I think we need to go beat the mouse over the head.
I think we do.
No, it's mine. Don't do it.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I can do what I like. Speaking of accessibility in Doctor Who, though, let's talk about YouTube and how you can watch Spearhead from Space on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah, so you can, along with Spearhead from Space and several other classic episodes, you can watch Classic Who on YouTube outside of the UK. That's with an asterisk, because the asterisk is not every country. You know which country is not included in this? I'll give you a fucking hint. I live in it.
I'm sure once you guys get off parole and house arrest, though.
BBC. I will rein back on the dentist jokes, okay? If you give me Classic Who on YouTube. Please. Again, BBC being really stupid when it comes to its international audience.
So what do the Brits have against the Aussies?
We're the criminals.
Yeah, they're the criminals. That's why.
And because I make fun of the fact they don't know what dentists are, but it's so stupid. Like, they have Doctor Who on Disney Plus, the biggest streaming service, like, to this day. Like, you could say it's Netflix, but I would argue Netflix has kind of been dying over the years. It'll just pop back up whenever a new season of Stranger Things comes out, or actually it'll pop back up when Squid Games comes back. But other than that, it's kind of a dwindling streaming service. Like, you have Doctor Who broadcasting, streaming internationally on Disney Plus, and you still can't even do the bare bones minimum of like having the rest of Doctor Who accessible to the rest of the world. Again, I should not have to use a VPN to watch something that was easily accessible years ago. Not even years ago, last year on BritBox. It's... I don't understand the BBC sometimes.
Speaking of the BBC and access to Doctor Who across the world, you know what we got the day after we did our live stream?
What?
The trailer for the new Christmas special.
Oh,
Christmas everywhere, all at once. Is this Christmas? Mm-hmm. Yes.
No.
No.
This is actually Secret New Year's special. Then
no! No! It can't be! I had escaped. I escaped the Kindle era. I had to freed myself. But no, it's an entertaining trailer. Honestly, it just made me excited to watch it. But that's all. It's a good trailer. Looks like it could be a good episode.
I don't know. This is Moffat.
I know. It's Moffat. It's Christmas. Great.
Yeah, but it can either be good Moffat or just like confusing Moffat.
Confusing Moffat is great Moffat. What are you talking about?
Is it though? Is it really?
It is. It really is.
But no, the trailer was fine. But how many trailers have we had so far?
We had one major teaser trailer. We had
clips. We had two clips.
Two clips, and then this is the real trailer.
Okay, good. I felt like there was more, and I was going to argue just like, can we stop this teaser trailer for a teaser trailer for a trailer for another trailer?
Well, now we only have this, and next be here. So, speaking of writers coming in for the new season of Doctor Who, guess what? We're getting 6 new writers for Doctor Who. And RTD's letter to Doctor Who magazine. He's basically doing 12 Days of Christmas, and look right there, 6 writers are writing.
Yeah, if you include the Christmas episode, then we have 6 writers at work on this new tranche of Doctor Who, and for one of those writers on season 2, this will be their very first TV script. I just double checked, and they told me for 13 years I've been trying to make something, but it was turned down at each juncture. For another writer, this is their first full-length script after one short film. I'm very proud of that. Proud of the writers, proud of Bad Wolf, the BBC, and Disney Plus for opening the door. The fact is, to get your first credit on a great, big, high-octane worldwide streaming show is a colossal achievement, and it's good for the whole industry getting new voices on screen. Yep. Good. That's good for me. That means less Russell.
So, what this means, though, because reading that through, we have... Wait a minute. That's not saying 6 new writers to Doctor Who. You can't... Ben, count.
Yeah, it's 5. Christmas Special is Moffat, who's not a new writer.
Unless he's including himself. If RTD is including himself, then we have 4 new writers.
True, yeah.
Which is still 4 new writers. That's still something.
That's good.
If there's 8 episodes.
It was better than the previous one.
Hello to Joe the Corallo joining us right as we're towards the end of our news wrap-up. We're getting 4 new writers to Doctor Who.
Less Russell. That's good.
Yes, that is good.
I mean, hopefully that means that Russell can focus on the beginning and the end, and maybe like 1 in the middle.
No, he's bringing back. I don't know. He's bringing back the Vord. They're now the god of oceans.
The god of flatulence.
The god of flatulence. The Torchwood sex gas, god of sex.
Absorbaloff.
The Absorbaloff.
God of a bit of a love life.
No, that'd be Elton.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen fans like trying to be the Absorbaloffs, one of the gods or something like that, in memes they create because they hate humanity, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Russell just decided to make any other character gods now, so...
See, the problem is Russell wants Doctor Who to have this fantastical turn. That's what it wants. That's what he wants. He wants to do a Moffat era of his own, and it's not working.
No,
it's not working because it's stupid.
It is true. It is very stupid.
And so a lot of decisions to like make gods make no sense. Like the Mara, god of beasts, is like, why? Because it's a snake.
Yeah,
it's more to do with dreams and temptations, not the fact that it's an animal.
Yeah, no, it's all very bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that really that works. But and also like when you're dealing with stuff like gods and Doctor Who, like so many times when you've been in situations like this in Doctor Who, it is very much like people think this is a god, but it's because they don't understand this science or this or that. So it kind of contradicts a lot of that element of Doctor Who. It's annoying and makes him seem like an idiot.
Maybe Russell really just wanted to bring the Celestial Toy Maker back and wanted him to be a season-long villain, but he was like, oh no, I'm going to just use him in my special instead.
Would have to pay Neil Patrick Harris a lot of money.
Just pay him one time instead.
Yep.
Well, that's all right then.
God, that was so good.
That was so good.
Last thing. Doctor Who with a connection to the Eccleston era?
Whoa.
Yeah, Doctor Who's new episodes will have a Christopher Eccleston era connection. That could mean a lot of things. Unless it's literally, I'm RTD. I brought it back with Christopher Eccleston, and I'm still here. That'd actually be funny if that. That'd be so funny if that was the actual connection. It's just like me, RTD. Yes, an upcoming Doctor Who storyline will deal with the return of a dangerous weapon not seen since Christopher Eccleston's tenure on the long-running sci-fi drama. Now, a lot of people have been saying like the actual weapon that he had in Dalek, which I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of people are saying it's the Delta Wave, which he planned to use against the Daleks, but he decided not to.
And look,
I think what weapon?
I don't know. Russell is saying that the weapon appeared in the Ninth Doctor's era. It's making a terrifying return. The writer handed it to him, so it's not Russell using it. It's not Russell.
It's another writer.
It's somebody else
I'm
saying.
I'm trying to think like it would have to be the Delta Wave. That's the only weapon I could think of. Because like what quote unquote other weapon is there?
Well, apparently John Barrowman's a predator. So there's that.
Oh boy. Oh.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah. Oh.
There's no deleting that. That's gonna stay on the show now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oops.
Slandering John Barrowman? Oh no.
Not on the internet.
Not on the internet.
That's
not like he deserves it.
But yeah, I don't know. The Autons really never show up anymore.
No, they don't.
No. They did for Series 5, but Moffat had that weird thing where he didn't have them use their actual name.
Yeah.
The Nestine duplicates. It was the same with what Chibnall did with the Silurians in that same series. They're Homo reptilia. Which is like, I don't know. That was such a weird choice, and it only happened. I think it only ever happened in that series. Is when they brought back two classic villains, and they're not referred to by their actual names. I don't know why. It's a choice.
It would be like if the Master came back and they just called him
Steve.
Yeah.
It's my my oldest friend and enemy, Steve.
Anything but Steve. God, please, not Steve.
So, I guess we have reached a point in our stream. We are here for the topic, and we have decided, as I said, I joked earlier at the start of the stream, kind of stealing Red Letter Media's idea, like best of the worst, but we're doing it with 2 Doctor Who episodes. Not just episodes, but Christmas specials. They are widely regarded as the 2, like, quote-unquote, worst episodes, like Christmas specials of Doctor Who. And that is the Doctor, the Widow in the Wardrobe, and the Return of Mysterio. So, we have these 2 Christmas specials. Gevain,
yes.
Our task was, which one would you argue is the better of the 2?
For me, it's the Doctor, Widow in the Wardrobe is the better of the 2. Yeah, Return of Dr. Mysterio, even though, and I'm sure as Joe does as well, I appreciate the many, many, many very lovely and detailed Superman references in the very beginning of it. particularly I thought was a clever one was the Lombard one, Steve Lombard one, without giving his first name away. If you know anything about the Superman mythos, he's pretty much, when did he come in, Joe? Like the mid 80s. I think that's when Clark was like a broadcaster or something, it felt like. But Steve Lombard becomes this like sort of addition to the whole Daily Planet / whatever that broadcasting station he was at one point, member of the team.
Yeah, he's basically Clark's like civilian antagonist at that
like
job. At Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. He's like his a bully that he didn't quite have in Smallville, but they decided to give him one in the big city. And so basically the father of the Fletcher, what was her name? Whatever, the reporter's character, that apparently is the father of her son, and he abandons as soon as the kid shows up. So it's very, very much in character for Steve. So that's a nice touch. The fact that Fletcher's last name is sort of a play on Fleischer, the studio that created, in my opinion, some of the greatest Superman cartoons. The whole Lex Luthor character stand-in for the CEO. What I did like, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I'm going to give it to him anyway. The main villains of the series seem to be a play on Alan Moore's version of the Luthor Brainiac team from whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, where basically Brainiac in the end pretty much breaks Luthor's neck and pretty much takes him over. So to me, that seemed to be a nod to that. After that, Return of Dr. Mysterio pretty much goes nowhere. I have no idea what the story was about. What was the purpose of it? It was just like, it would seem like it was going to be cute in the beginning, you know, a little kid mistakes Doctor Who for Santa Claus and so on and so forth. He swallows a gemstone because he thought it was, you know, medicine, lasagna or something like that. I don't know. A cough drop. And it's like, okay, this is kind of be cool. But then absolutely nothing happens with the character. Nothing happens with the story except this kind of like interesting homage to Superman in the beginning, but it just doesn't tie into anything, particularly the resolution of the story. It's just, it doesn't go anywhere. And then the ultimate tack on is the reference to Husbands of River Song. And it's just kind of like, for some reason, we're supposed to get this idea that what he's gone through with the Mysterio character is supposed to somehow give us some kind of enlightenment or some kind of new perspective about how the Doc is feeling about River. And I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't get it. It doesn't connect. Unlike with Dr. Widow in the Wardrobe, equally a stretch to what's going on in the main story to what ends up being a resolution. But at least with Dr. Widow in the Wardrobe, it's the fact that the pawns are back in the story. To me, the ending of that one, I just jumped to the end of that episode pretty much. Just watch that part because it is endearing, the fact that he's been gone 2 years and they set the table for him each year. You know, it feels like it equally much like with Mysterio. It feels like a tack on to the end of an episode, but at least it has the pawns. It's more endearing. It pretty much can stand alone by itself. With Dr. Widow in the Wardrobe, it kind of reminds me like back in, I think it was like the late 90s, where it was like I had envisioned at one point I was running 2 video stores, and I was envisioning that, you know, there were some movies out there you just really don't need to watch the whole movie. You just really need to watch like maybe the last 20 minutes and you're good. And the movies that inspired that were Phantom Menace and Mission Impossible 2. To tell people, I said, look, you want to spend your money renting this movie, fine. Just jump to the last 20 minutes of the movie and you're good. That's it. And then one day we came up with YouTube, where that's when people do that all the time. They just jump to the good parts. So the same thing definitely with Dr. Widow in the Wardrobe. If you must watch the first 40 minutes of it, you know, torture yourself. Just jump to the part where he reunites with the pawns and get on with it. With Mysterio, don't bother. There is nothing to be had from this whatsoever. I have to say, we probably reviewed some other episodes that may have been more useless than this, but I just can't think of them right now.
So,
Yes.
I just want to apply some context of timeline-wise, like, because Dr. Mysterio was the year after River Song, right?
A year later.
There was no Doctor Who for a year. So Moffat pretty much made this just a Doctor Who episode rather than a Christmas special.
Yeah.
But he would have been accused of having ring rust with that kind of episode. After a year?
So, yes, it was pretty much River Song, Gap. Here's Dr. Mysterio, and then we get Series 10, I think, the following year. Joe, do you want to go first?
Sure. But like, unfortunately, I think that's also part of what makes the episode so shitty is, it's like, sure, I get in the moment. There hasn't been Doctor Who for a while. You want to do it more like a regular story instead of a Christmas special. The problem is, I don't know if Moffat's aware of this, but you can go back and watch shows after they air. So
exactly.
then when you go back and you're like, oh, I want to watch something, I want to watch a Christmas special, and you watch it and there's like nothing Christmassy about it.
It's just that beginning.
That's awful. Like, I like when the holidays roll around, I like watching Christmas specials. I watch the Garfield Christmas. I watch, Charlie Brown Christmas. I do all that stuff.
Yep.
Frosty, the Rankin Bass specials, all that stuff. I like that, and I like watching a Doctor Who Christmas episode or two. Yep. What a miserable waste of my fucking time. Like, it's just like, sometimes you just want something festive on in like the background, and it's like, no, like, you failed at your very basic level of, is there anything remotely Christmas about this Christmas special? The answer is like a resounding no. I guess some of the things about this are not only that, I mean, also that poor actor that they get to play that guy. It's like, the greatest live action Goku. Like,
oh no, that's him.
That was Goku from
Justin Chapman. Yeah,
violated.
Yeah, so I'm like, wow, like, there's so much to not like about this story.
That guy was at the time he was doing American Gothic, which was a pretty popular show at the time. So like, he was having a resurgence.
This couldn't have been part of it.
No.
But no, so you have that. You have the very unfortunate bit of what, like, a lot of times when Doctor Who's really working, and like, people are like taken over by aliens, there's like a little hint of something wrong, like the Slovene, for example. Here, it's a gigantic gash over their face. What? Like, that was so stupid. Like, like, oh, you're like a powerful CEO that's on TV a lot. No one's going to notice the gigantic diagonal slash across your face. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Like, it was offensive to me as a viewer how lazy and like, this is the kind of thing where it's like, if this is you coming back, do not come back. Wait, you have not figured it out yet. Go away a while longer. Just awful. The only redeeming things in the episode are Peter Capaldi's the Doctor, and when he just gets to kind of bullshit a bit as the Doctor, it's delightful. But it's not worth it for this at all. But it helps you get through it every those few moments where something's happening. But then he does some stuff where it's too much of a stretch. Like I brought snacks for those stakeouts. I'm like, stop it. Like that was a little too much. But
you didn't like him eating the sushi while.
Yeah, that was like, what are we doing? Like, there's plenty of other moments in it that are fun and cute with Capaldi. That's fine, but yeah, the Matt Smith one was definitely better. It at least feels Christmassy, of course. There's Christmas moments in it. Ultimately, it does spin its wheels way too long. Like that was a special that had about a half hour's worth of stuff happening in it that is made into an hour. Like you're just kind of like, okay, they get lost. There's no real point where you feel like there's a legitimate threat to anybody.
Yep.
Like the whole threat of acid rain isn't really like hurting them. It's gonna hurt these trees. They do this whole thing, but it's still like the threat level and the reaction that people are having just doesn't quite match. But no, I mean it's great seeing Matt Smith being Matt Smith. But yeah, I don't know. It felt a little. Yeah, it was definitely lacking. There were moments like the whole bit with the mom getting captured by those three and that whole bit and her capturing them with a inferior firearm that made absolutely no sense. I wasn't quite sure what they were trying to go for there. I guess it's cool that it kind of ties into the Caves of Androzani, I guess, because they're from Androzani Major, those three, and it's okay, cool, sure, but yeah, so definitely that one's the better of the two for me.
Yeah, no, there's no question. It is absolutely the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. I could have fun with Dr. Mysterio, but no, it's not a great episode at all by any stretch. It's not even a good episode. It's an episode. It's got lots of problems. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe, while it does stretch a little while, it does keep that whimsy. The worst part of the episode for me was really the effects at the beginning were bad. Not typical Doctor Who cheese. They were just bad. Why would you put yourself in that situation? Could you not think of another way that didn't look like that? But that's fine.
Yeah.
It also has one of the best quotes with the Doctor saying that basically every time she sees her kids happy, she remembers how sad they're going to be. It breaks her heart. Because what's the point of them being happy now if they're going to be sad later? The answer, of course, is because they're happy now. Or they're going to be sad later. It's great. That tugs the heartstrings. You're feeling her pain. The kids aren't annoying, which, you know what? We have a problem with that in the next season. Not this season. And overall, it's just a feel-good episode. Though she was only a widow for maybe a week.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's great. You know that the British government's going to have a problem, though, when they're like, deserter! No! I swear.
But that's a time-honored tradition in Doctor Who of the Doctor leaving before any real ramifications occur.
Of his actions.
But
yeah, it's the best part of the 5 Doctors is when there's all this shit going and they're like, yeah, see ya.
Bye-bye. But no, that's really enjoyable. And I honestly, the pond part is sweet right at the end, but I think overall it's just a better episode. So yeah, the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe definitely wins. I think it's a solid Christmas special. I don't even think it's a bad one. So, Chris.
Yeah, I would say it's not bad. Yeah.
All right. Now, this is tough because the thing is, the Return of Dr. Mysterio, it's not good. But there are parts I enjoy about it. But it is not a Christmas special. It is tacked on at the start. It doesn't even take place during Christmas. But I find it more enjoyable than the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Just as a story. I've never liked the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. If Return of Dr. Mysterio didn't exist, it would definitely be on my bottom of like Christmas specials. Having said that, the whole point is we were going to decide what we think is the better like Christmas special of the 2 regarded worst ones, and the better one is definitely the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. It takes place on Christmas. Christmas is a vital part of this story. Do I think it's a better story than Return of Dr. Mysterio? Not really. I don't like the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. The whole thing with the miners from the excavators, Bill Bailey and his crew, which just felt like, hey, we just need a famous person in here, chucking Bill Bailey. Like it's just a cameo. The whole like the forest is actually alive, and they need a strong mind. It's the mother because you're born from her, so get it, mothership. They need a mothership to escape. That I just found very stupid. The kids are very. Yes, we do get more annoying kids in the following series, but the kids, particularly Cyril, annoying. I hate to say that about child actors, but annoying.
Don't Jake Lloyd. Come
on. I feel. I don't know if it's just like how she's directed, but Madge is a bit of an off character to me. I feel like that might be the point because she's grieving, but just like how she acts is just. I don't know. I just don't like it. So, but with Dr. Mysterio, it's dumb. It's not a Christmas special, but it's harkening back to comics, and I like that aspect. It's like, yeah, this is essentially Doctor Who's Superman. They're attempting to do it like essentially a Superman comic. And I'm guessing superhero films, especially with like the MCU, were very big at that time. So obviously they're trying to like get in on that, get in on the superhero craze. So I don't know. I just find Return to Dr. Mysterio just a more interesting, not even interesting, a more entertaining story compared to Dr. Widow and the Wardrobe. But the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe is clearly the better Christmas special because it actually has something to do with Christmas.
I can't believe you think that the Return of Dr. Mysterio is a better episode, though.
I'm not saying it's a good episode. I mean,
you're saying it's a better episode
compared to Dr. Widow and the Wardrobe. Yes,
I don't.
The Doctor and Widow and the Wardrobe is like Joe said. It does not need to be an hour long. It is longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, but Joe also said that the other episode shouldn't exist. So,
well, it's like there's a way to have done that story that would have worked like again, like the tone in the Return of Dr. Mysterio's off, because it's like if they had those big gashes across their face and it was like goofier, because I don't know if you guys have noticed this before, but sometimes Doctor Who can be a little goofy.
Yes.
So if it was like a goofier kind of story, but like it takes itself so seriously with these like goofy moments like that, and it's like if they did it,
it's trying to do like taking like the goofy aspects of like comics and trying to make it a bit serious.
Yeah,
but also put in the Doctor Who humor in it as well. And it's also, this episode really dates itself with a couple of its one being like it's trying to get onto the superhero craze.
Yeah,
the Pokemon Go reference, very dated. Also, doesn't make any sense. I flooded downstairs with Pokemon. It's like, okay, first thing, not going to work in Japan, especially since it's a business. Work is life over there. Work is life. I don't think they're all going to stop work to go catch some Pokemon.
Can we just call you out real quick? It's like you spent a little time in Japan, and now suddenly you're just like, well, as someone who understands culture, I was there, and I know.
You're trying to track.
I'm just saying, just don't date your episodes with like references that are not gonna work.
I can't forgive.
That's like if if the Doctor was just like, I don't know, just dealing with some like alien queens and decide I distracted them with Candy Crush.
Yeah,
like
get it because mums love Candy Crush.
I mean, you can still do that joke, and most people get it though.
I guess, but still, it's like...
See, the thing is, I can't forgive Return of Dr. Mysterio for that entire date scene. Oh my god, it was painful to watch. Like,
I think the problem is it's supposed to be like the cheesy, like...
Yeah, but it's worse than that.
It's very similar to... I think it's cheesy in the way that it's trying to be like that scene from... it's the Val Kilmer's Batman.
No.
When he goes on the date.
It's the Superman 78. It's another homage. It's Superman 78.
Doing the whole like...
Yeah, where he shows up on the rooftop. And
they're actually in love with each other, but they're not. And she goes on the date with the superhero, which is actually him. And she thinks she likes him, but she actually likes his secret identity.
Well, at all. She's overacting, which ridiculously
the problem is, Pixel, the problem is no one is American in this episode. Literally no one is American. And it's set in America. Justin Chatwin is Canadian. Charity Wakefield is British. No one is American, so they're all doing American accents.
Doesn't change.
So I would say the overacting is the fact that they're trying to do the accent, and it trying to be like a cheesy like comic book as well.
Yeah, but it comes off worse than a CW show.
No. Hey now.
Listen, I suffered through freaking every single one of those shows for a YouTube channel. I know what a CW scene is like. That was absolutely like.
I would have to disagree. I would prefer this bad cheesy date scene over someone in the Flash talking in a corridor, whispering and crying about their feelings.
I like to think, even though we're supposed to assume that you're talking about the Arrowverse, that you were on like a Dawson's Creek rewatch YouTube show.
He's got a point about late stage Arrowverse. It was towards the end there. It was getting a little bit like, okay, really.
The only good show, like consistently good show there was Superman and Lois, and that's over now. That was one of the best shows. But no, the rest all went to garbage. All quickly.
They all went to garbage, or they started garbage.
Well, which one do you think started garbage?
Batwoman.
Not to go off, but Flash didn't start out as garbage.
It was definitely bad.
Batwoman started garbage. That was bad from the get-go.
Catwoman wasn't nearly as bad as people made it out to be, though. It's the second season that's god-awful.
Oh, no, second season is bad. First season is oh so bad. Second season just happens to be worse. Because they're like, well, we've gotten rid of our main star, so...
Let's make up, yeah.
Let's just make her own OC.
But again, that entire, like, whenever she's going ahead and yelling at the superhero she wanted an interview with about how, oh, but so is Grant. What? What are you talking about?
Again, it's supposed to be cheesy, but they just didn't do it well.
It's bad cheese. Your cheese has gotten rotten. I'm cheesy. That is shit.
Another thing with Mysterio is that, yeah, it doesn't, it's like, are you going to deal with the fact that the doctor left the kid with superpowers on Earth and just took his word for it that he wouldn't do anything about it? I mean, you know, it was just like, you don't even, it's like,
well, to be fair, he does check up on him.
Does he? Because I remember he did.
As far as we know, he's checked on him once in high school.
There was this whole somewhat tension that he was going to confront Grant about the fact that he was using the powers. So it's like, and it goes nowhere. So it's not even like, oh, Grant, it's not even like a good who reveal like Grant is pretending to be a superhero, but secretly he's running like, I don't know, super cartels all over the globe and the doctor's responsible for it. I mean, that would have been more interesting than what we got. Yeah. But he, you know, it's just like, in other words, if he had come back to an Earth that basically was like, Joe appreciate this one, like Earth 3, like he was running the crime syndicate, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. This was just a missed opportunity. It was just like, come on, bro.
There's also the weirdness behind his situation, and I know you said that harkens back fitting to the character, but the fact that he goes ahead and he went to school with this woman, and then they meet later down the line, and his best friend falls for her, and then he starts working as her nanny, like, and he calls her Mrs. Lombard. Why?
Because he's super incel. That's the whole.
yeah, but it's one of those things that like that just doesn't, that can't happen. Why would he call her that? Why would he not address her by her first?
Because they took. I'm telling you, if you look at this episode, what it literally is, it's literally whoever wrote this was a huge fan of the Christopher Reeve, Lois Lane Superman movie, and it's almost a lot of senses beat to beat, but it just turns up the shtick, and that's what it is. So it's not enough that, you know, because it's not enough that Clark is like, and Reeve did it brilliantly, like this bumbler who has to be a bumbler to the point, a loser to the point to throw people off the fact that he couldn't be Superman because the glasses, it just ain't gonna cut it alone. This dude has to be so the opposite of this that he's literally the cuck to. I'll live right here. He's literally the cuck to his, not even his college sweetheart, not his high school sweetheart, his middle school sweetheart. It's like, this is like, guys, you're going too far with this. It's like, give the man something. And he's taking care of her baby while he's out dating his alter. You know, this is too much. It's like,
yeah.
Hey, and Pixel, to be fair, the Dr. Widow in the Wardrobe also has a really bad romance. He just kept following me, and then until I agreed to marry him.
I was listening to the.
I know that's something of the times, but
you get those stories a lot in the 1920s, the 1910s and 1920s. You get stories like that. And
here we go. Pixel visited the 1920s one time, and he thinks he knows everything about the times.
No, I mean it's just truth. Well, he said he was.
But still, yeah, I know that. But yes, granted, that is true. That is something of the times. But looking at it now, it's very that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
my daughter's a creeper.
I really don't have to say this, but people, don't follow someone you like and say, I'm not going to stop following you until you marry me. That's not going to work, okay?
No. Now, if you go back to the 1920s, it will. But
Follow away.
Not now. But I still their relationship though makes up for that. I am not fighting for Grant to get with this girl. I'm not. Or Grant. Was that his name?
Yeah, Grant.
Yeah, Grant.
I can't. No, it's honestly just you're watching. You have no respect for him. He has no respect for himself. So, and Dr. Widow and Wardrobe, it legitimately just for me has that feeling of Doctor Who. Dr. Mysterio is lacking so many things. It is like you take the worst of Moffatisms and the worst of Gatisms and you put them in an episode and you have the return of Dr. Mysterio with some Superman references. That's what I get.
No, they had nothing to say. That's the problem with it. The episode really had nothing. It had nothing to say. Even at the end when you're supposed to get the poignant point of like, you know, this is the Doctor getting closure on his whole situation with River Song.
Yeah,
it just falls flat because it's like, why? What is it about this particular adventure that would in any way give you any kind of insight or perspective into what you just lost? Yeah. It just doesn't do it. There's no connective tissue there. And even when the scene happened, I'm like, and I thought like maybe did I blink and somebody said a line that would make this make sense? Because I'm like, what? Huh? It's just like, nah. And there's nothing Christmassy about it. That's the
nope.
On top of everything. And it was a year after the fact, so that means you had plenty of time to prepare. And after a year off, this is what I get? No. You're banished from Britain, for the British Isles.
Get him out of here. Get Stephen Moffat out of here.
Okay, that's where guys like that belong, in Australia.
Bring him over here. We'll take him. Anything to piss off Pixel. You don't give me Classic Who, I take Stephen Moffat.
What?
You don't give me Classic Who, I take Stephen Moffat.
Don't you dare. I love Stephen Moffat. Don't get me wrong. Stephen Moffat did both these episodes. We're putting the man against himself.
Basically. One of them was co-written. Was it the Mysterio one?
I think so.
I think one of them was co-written.
Dr. Mysterio doesn't say that.
No, it's not.
Dr. Widow and the Robot. Nope, they're just both
written by him.
Both written by him.
I tried.
But that is pretty much our choice. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe destroyed it. No matter what Chris says.
Hey, I also agreed, you idiot.
But you said the other was a better episode, Chris.
I said it's a more entertaining episode.
Okay. But
I still agreed that Dr. Widow and the Wardrobe is the better Christmas episode because it is a Christmas episode.
We do have a small thing to address at the end here. The following.
Yes, you've probably noticed Jimmy hasn't been here. And that's still going to continue. Okay, what's your news?
This next week in like 5 days, I disappear. I'll be back in the new year, but I will disappear. So for the meantime, we're giving you back your Wednesday nights.
Yay! All right.
Yay!
But until we're back, we ask you to like and to comment and subscribe and all that jazz. It helps out the channel. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well,
you'll still get you'll get new videos
from that guy.
From me. I've been pumping out some new videos. Go check out my Once and Future video. I have another video coming out soon. Not telling you what it is, but
don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it. That's all we're going to say. No more.
No more. Gallifrey Falls. But until next time, thank you. Goodbye. Alonze. Don't say it.